So JSON is JavaScript object notation. JSON is used for store data and transport data between client and server. Client and server. See, for example, you have the client system. From client system, inside the client system, you will be having a JavaScript. So JavaScript object directly could not communicate with the servers. Could not communicate with the servers. So what we need to do is, in middle, there is a concept called JSON conversion. We need to convert the data to the JSON. And through the JSON, through the API call, you can able to connect with the servers. Even you are sending the data or you are receiving the data. When you are sending the data, first of all, JSON is the mediator between the client and server. At the same time, when you are receiving the data from the servers, even servers also, data is giving through the API. Again, this API format in the form of JSON. That JSON is going to be converted into the JS. JS is going to be attaching to the HTML, and HTML is your client, your browser. So here, JSON is basically a glue point or mediator between client and server. Between client and server. So when we are sending data, or when we are sending data from client to server, we need to convert JavaScript to JSON. When we are receiving data from server to client, we need to parse data from JSON to JS. So browser can understand only HTML. We know that. Browser can understand only HTML. And HTML can understand only JavaScript. And here, when you have the data in the form of multiple things, data in the form of strings, data in the form of array items, data in the form of objects, whatever it may be, the data in the form of JSON. And here, JS is going to be having the kind of JSON data. If you don't have the JSON data, you cannot able to send the data or you cannot able to receive the data. First of all, we need to understand what are the different kind of stringify methods. For example, when you want to convert JS data to JSON data, we use a method called JSON.stringify. The method we have to use is JSON.stringify. But when you have the JSON API, that JSON API I want to convert to the JS, JSON.parse method. JSON.parse method. So these two methods are very important. When you are sending the data, that is one case. When you are receiving the data, that is another case. Sending data means, first of all, I want to send my form data. I want to send my client data to the JSON API. So when you are sending, first of all, you need to stringify to the JSON format. Then only API can understand. And when you are receiving the data from the API or from the servers, that also we need to convert to the JavaScript. Otherwise, HTML cannot able to understand. So in that case, parse is the very important method you need to understand it. And one more important thing, JSON have two forms. One is a JSON object. One is a JSON object. One is a JSON array. Only two forms. When we have the JSON object, that JSON object you can convert into the JS object. And when you have the JSON array, that you can convert into the JS array. So you can able to, already JS to HTML, how to convert a JS object to HTML, how to convert a JS array to HTML, we already know. How to bind the data from object, how to bind the data from array, we already know. From JavaScript, we know. But from JS1, we don't know. So first of all, you have the data in the form of JSON. First of all, convert that JSON data to the JavaScript object. If it is in the form of array, convert into the JS array. Then only you can able to bind easily using with the loops and all. You can able to bind it to the HTML. That is okay. And we already know that JSON have only two forms. One is the object and one is the array. And what is the object? What is the array? What is the case of object? Okay, we need to understand first of all JSON object. JSON object is collection of key value pair system. Key value pair system. And one more important point, JSON object key must be string. Key must be string. Compulsory key is a string. And encodes with double quotes. Single quotes not allowed. Single quotes not allowed. But JavaScript single quotes allowed for the string. But in JSON, single quotes not allowed for the string. So compulsory JSON object must be string and encodes with double quotes. Okay, so here one more important point. Key value separated with colon. Key value pair. Key value pair separated with comma. Every key value pair separated with, yeah, that is what actually. And last key value pair do not have comma. Last key value pair do not have. Last key value pair ki comma bit. So that is one important thing. So what is the syntax for the object? What is the syntax for the JSON object? Syntax is very simple. One more important point. JSON object starts with the curly braces, ends with the curly braces. Starts with curly braces, ends with curly braces. Okay, so this is the syntax. And inside the syntax, compulsory double quotes, don't use single quotes. Employee name, suppose something like don't give single quotes in the JSON. Srinivas. And employee qualification, you have to give the string with the double quotes. And EMP salary 56,000. Can you understand? This is a JSON object. It is similar or it is look like JavaScript object. But JavaScript object allows key number. JavaScript object allows key number. JavaScript object allow string with the single quotes. But JSON have some rules and regulations. What are the rules and regulations for the JSON is key must be string, key compulsory string. At the same time, every string enclosed with double quotes. Don't allow single quotes or don't give single quotes for the string. So this is object. When I go for the JSON array, what is the array and how the array will be? JSON array is collection of values. And here one more important point we need to understand. JSON value can be any data type. Key must be string, but value can be any data type. Value can be an integer, value can be a float value, value can be a string, value can be an array, or value can be an object, or value can be a null value, or value can be a undefined also. But come to the, or value can be a boolean. So, but key must be string, value can be anything. After colon value can be anything, but key must be string. But coming to the array is a collection of values. Okay, well, collection of values means value can be any data. Value can be any data type. So yeah, let me copy this line. Let me copy this line and keep here. JSON value can be any data type. So I said JSON array is collection of values, right? JSON array is collection of values. JSON value can be any data type. It may be an integer, it may be a float, it may be a string, it may be array, it may be an object, it may be a null, it may be undefined, it may be a boolean. Now let's have the syntax for this. And one more thing, JSON array starts with the square bracket, ends with the square. And the JSON array, every value separated with the comma. JSON array, last value do not have comma. Okay, so what is the syntax for this? What is the syntax for this? Maybe a collection of values. I may have multiple objects inside, right? So it may be a first object. For example, this is the first object. Is my first object. After the first object come and one more object. And this object employee name is this time Vaibhavi. And here this one is something like BTech. This time it is something like 46,000. Collection of values. Every value separated with comma. Now what is the value type here? What is the value type here? I said JSON array is collection of values. What is the value available here in this array? Array lo em values ఉన్నాయి? Objects ఉన్నాయి. What are the two objects? What is the zero index object? It is related to Srinivas. What is the one index object? It is related to Viber. So these are the rules and regulations for the JSON. Now let me go to the program. Before going to program, I want to tell you there is a direct website for JSON, json.org. This is the official website for the JSON. You can just go through that and you can see this. JSON is JavaScript object notation. It is a lightweight data interchanging format. It is easy for humans to read and write. It is easy for machines to parse and generate. It is based on subset of JavaScript programming languages. And coming to the, it is actually familiar with the C, C++, C#, Java, Java, Perl, Python, many other programming languages also. JSON is language independent. JSON is language independent. I can say one simple thing for that. JSON is language independent. It means it can understand for C, it can understand for C++, it can understand for C#, it can understand for Java, it can understand for Python, it can understand for Perl, it can understand for Go language, it can understand for .NET programming. So it means C#. So it can understand for any other programming languages also. Now, see this, and one more thing, the collection of JSON have built-in two structures. I already told. JSON have only built-in two structures. The one is a collection of name value pairs and ordered list of values. What is collection of name value pairs? Object. And one more thing is JSON list of values. List of values means it may be anything. So object structure. What is the object structure here? Curly brace is open and curly brace is closed. And everything in object, everything is key value pair system. Key will something, value will be a value. Key must be string. A white space means a string. It should be encoded with double quotes. And array is the collection of values. It enclosed with the square braces. and it may have a number of values. It may have a string, it may be have a number, it may be an object, it may be have an array, it may be have a boolean true or false, it may be a null value. And one more important point: string rules. What is the rules for the string? String compulsory encodes with a single quote, double quotes. Can you see? A string is a sequence of zero or more unique characters wrapped with the double quotes. Wrapped with the double quotes, compulsory double quotes. Without double quotes, the string will not take the form of this. And one more thing, there is a concept called JSON validation, JSON linked.com. JSON linked validator. You can just go for the validator JSON linked.com, where you can paste your JSON data. This is JSON or not? Okay, validate. How to validate it? You can click on the validate button. When you click on the validate button, JSON is valid JSON. For example, if I miss the double quotes using with a single quotes here. If I miss the double quotes using with a single quotes here. Srinivas is going to be having only single quotes. Now Srinivas is not having double quotes. In this time, this is valid or not? Why this is giving invalid JSON? So Srinivas is not actually recognizing. Srinivas is not recognizing. But if it is in JavaScript, it will recognize. But now we are talking about the JSON. In JSON, single quotes will not allow. In JSON, single quotes will not allow. So this compulsory double quotes needed. Validate. Now JSON is valid. Now come to the point. I want to go for the parse. I want to go for the stringify first. What is the meaning of stringify? What is the meaning of stringify? What is the meaning of stringify? The method called JSON.stringify. What stringify method can do? This is a JS predefined method using for convert JS to what stringify can do. This is a JS predefined method using for convert JS to JSON. JS to JSON, not JSON to JS. JS to JSON. Ante enti, it may convert your JS object to JSON object. It may convert your JS array to JSON. We are learning how to work with the stringify process. Let me take a simple JavaScript object. Now I'm taking JavaScript object. I'm taking single quotes. JavaScript object allowed single quotes or not? JavaScript object allowed single quotes or not? Name Srino, qualification MCA, and salary 30,000. Is this JS object or not? This is JS object. Yes. Document.write. JS object. Just JS object. Okay. Save this. Right click and default browser. Object. I got object. Basically, this is JavaScript object. My requirement is what? I want to convert this JS object to JSON object. Now, conversion. Where JSON object. Now, JSON object is equal to JSON.stringify. What object I want to make stringify? JS object is stringify JS object as a value in the stringify method. So when I do like this, okay, document.write. Now JSON. And before this, I want to go with the break. Document.write break. Just go with the break here. Now you can see this is JSON. This is valid JSON or not? You are having JavaScript object, but I'm actually converting it to JSON. So let me delete this one. I already converted. So this is my JSON. Just make it valid or not. It is valid or not. Now we got output as JSON is valid. You're actually converted properly your JavaScript to JSON. Your JavaScript to JSON. So let me have. Let me have one more example. Let me have the one more example. I'm taking the one more JS object. One more JS object. Now 1:, apple, 2:, orange, 3:, so number. Now key is number. Now key is number. So I'm actually giving mixing values, mixing with single quotes and double quotes. My JS object is mixing with single quotes and double quotes. Now I want to parse this. I want to parse this. How to do parse? Let's go with the document.write rate. Now parse it where JSON object 1 is equal to JSON dot stringify. Which object I want to stringify now? JS object 1. Now document.write JSON object 1. This time JSON object. JSON object 1. JSON object 1 is your apple orange kiwi. Apple orange kiwi. This time apple orange. Now see, it is properly converting or not. Check it out. One apple. One also taken single quotes. Two also taken single quotes. Sorry, double quotes. Three also taken double quotes. But in JavaScript, I am taking integer. I'm taking a number. JavaScript is allowed. This is JavaScript object. JavaScript object face is different. JSON object face is different. JavaScript object face is different. JSON object face is different. Now that was converted to this. What is output now? This. What is output now? This. What is output for the top one? Output for the top one is this. Output for the top one is this. After conversion. Can you see and observe? What are the differences you can find? What are the differences you can find? Am I clear? So now this one is converting into double quotes one. Completely string, but JSON string. JSON string is only double quotes. Can I take array now? Process is same. Process is same. Array. What array? JS array. JS array need to convert to, tell me, one array. Where JSON, JS array. JS array this one. What JS array you want? Look at it. Comma. This time it is 10 apple, 12 LG, 13 Onida. Now I want to convert that JavaScript object to, sorry, JavaScript array to JSON array. JSON array is equal to JSON dot stringify. What I need to stringify? Ante. Okay, if you want to print, you can do print both things. Document dot write your JS array, and after that you can go with the break. And after that, one more document dot write. Document dot write JSON. So now you see the output. This is JSON array. If you want to validate it, you can go for the validator. JSON lint.com. Paste it, validate it, valid or not? Valid. Okay, so, and one more thing, if you want to save the file, if you can save the file also. JSON files are saved with the .json format. File.json. It is in the form of JSON. Okay, one more note point I can write here. JSON files are saved with .json. When you have the bulk of the data, when you have the bulk of the data with the file, you want to take the data from the local system. You want to take the data from the file. The file should be .json file. When it is a local data, when it is a server API data, that is okay. But when you have the local data, you have to go with the form of .json format, something like this. Okay, that's it. So this is the file.json. It's a proper way of saving the JSON. Now we're done with the stringify process. Can we go with the parse process now? Okay. JSON dot parse dot script. First of all, where JSON object. I want to take a JSON object. It should be enclosed with a string method first, and that JSON will be inside the string. Take a JSON data. This is JSON or not? This JSON or not? Don't go with the multiple columns, multiple lines. This is JSON. We know. Document dot write your JSON. Just go with the break. Now JSON break. I want to go with the break. Now parsing process. Parse process. Now parse. Parse JSON to JS. What is the method for that? JSON.parse. Now where JavaScript object is equal to JSON.parse. What I need to do parse? You have already JSON object. I'm doing parse. That's it. Just reverse. There we are using stringify. Here we are using parse. And document.write JS. If you have the object, I can do print with multiple things. Document.write break. I can easily attach to the HTML or I can easily attach to the HTML. Can I go and attach for the HTML now? Document.write name is name undi qualification undi salary. Name is JS object dot break kuda add చేద్దాం. Name ఒకటి యాడ్ చేస్తాం. After name mouse అస్సలు వాళ్ళు name and qualification. Can you see this output of this program? Name, qualification, salary. Coming or not? So your JavaScript, your JSON, this is JSON, already converted to JavaScript and already parsed into multiple variables. Passed into the HTML. HTML bind type. If it is the bigger one, if it is the big array, take this one. Take this one now. Take this one now. Where JS, sorry, JSON array. Go with the single quotes, brother. Okay, so the problem is spaces will not allow. Can I do one thing? I'll take this object. Copy in that. There is no usage of mouse. Only two objects I'm taking. So name is, their name is Srinu and here name is Srikant. And the qualification is B type. And salary is 35,000. Okay, tell me where JS array is equal to JSON.parse JSON array. Now, directly can I go with, yeah, first of all, I will print with the document.write. Document.write, okay, we have object, we have array properly. Now, can I work with the loop now? ముందు ఒక అడ్డగీత వేయండి. I want to print both things for I is equal to 0, where I less than JS array dot length I plus plus. Now print both names and document dot write. Name is comma JS array of I dot name. Break కూడా పెట్టేద్దాం ఇక్కడ ప్లస్ వైభవ్ అర్థమవుతుందా? What I'm doing? Bind చేస్తున్నా అంతే. We are binding for HTML. Already JavaScript array came. JavaScript array I'm just making loop. Loop తిప్పుతున్నాము and bind చేస్తాం. Bind చేయడం important. Document dot write. In real time, this is very, very important. Qualification is JS array dot I of I కావాలి కదా, index కావాలి. I value first time 0, second time 1, next time 2. If it is have a bulk of values, thousands of values also, with the single loop, it will iterate and it will print into the HTML dot, this time it is qualification, plus one more thing, document dot write, this time it is salary. Salary is comma JS array dot of 0 of I, sorry, this is time it is I dot salary plus br. ఆన్లైన్ వెళ్ళలేదు అనుకుంటాను, లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ ఆన్లైన్ విన్నావా? యూట్యూబ్లో చూసుకో, ఎక్కడో చోట వినాలి. నేమ్ క్వాలిఫికేషన్ సాలరీ, name qualification salary, name this time 3 this time 3 this time something. You can try with the bigger data. For example, you can find a lot of JSON examples. You can find a dummy data. Dummy data తీసుకోండి, you can just work with that. What we have here, name is there, language is there, ID is there, bio is there, version is there. Can I take this, convert into the string, control A, control C, JSON to string converter, JSON to string converter. ఇదే వచ్చింది, కాపీ అవ్వలేదు. కాపీ అవ్వకపోతే ఎట్లా? Yeah. Now I got a string data, string format. Copy this. One more example. Oh my God. Bigger one. It's very much bigger. Document dot write. What I want to write here. Can I use single quotes better? లోపల ఎట్లా డబుల్ quotes ఉంది కదా. Now you want what? Loop. Loop చేయాలి. Before that, can I go with console? Let me check with the console output. Console.log. Console.log your JS. From the console only, I can able to understand what is the key, what is the key and all. Okay, 197 values, 197 listing. Name is there, language is there. Name is there. Name, language, ఇంకేం ప్రింట్ చేద్దాం. Name, ID, language, version. Tell me. For where I is equal to 0, index, I means index. I less than JS. The array అనుకుందామా లేకపోతే కన్ఫ్యూజ్ లేకుండా ఉంటుంది. Now, tell me document.write I plus plus plus. Okay, come to this one. So first of all, name is there. Name. Okay, JS array of 0 of I dot comma missing. Then plus break. Breaking. Yeah. So when name undi, ID undi, version undi. Name is there, ID is there, language is there. Version is there. And one more. Bio is there. Let me go with the bio. Change values here. Dot ID. Dot lang on the language on the ID ఏముంటే అదే ఇవ్వాలి. Key ఏముంటే అదే ఇవ్వాలి. Without missing the particular thing. And this one version. This one bio. Same unda bio unda. Can I stop this one? Okay, each and every time I want to take a horizontal row. You got the data? But this data is basically JSON data. This data is basically JSON data. From there is JSON data. But that JSON data we already converted to JavaScript. And from JavaScript, we already done with the loop. And loop lo nunchi data. Is it clear? And we are doing with the for loop here. But for in also works. I told you already. Okay, for I in JSON. Concept is same. Can I switch off this? That is for loop. This is for in. Both will work. For loop and for in both are working. But for in is better than for loop. Most enumeration, fast enumeration. Most fast enumeration. So that is for in. Okay, now for loop lo aithe you can break somewhere. For in lo avadatu. Then you can do one thing. Break method you can use. Break you can use. Break and continue. Break you can use or continue you can use. Break means only that value will miss. When I say break, that value will miss. Continue means that object only miss. remaining values will continue. For example, if I is equal to 10, okay, let me show inside this. If I is equal to 10, say break. వర్క్ అవుతుంది కండిషన్స్ లో వర్క్ అవుతుంది, లూప్స్ లో కూడా పనిచేస్తుంది. ఎందుకు పని చేయదు? చేస్తుంది. ఒక్క నిమిషం, మేబీ ఇట్ విల్ వర్క్ ఇన్ ద ఫార్మల్ ప్యాకేజ్. ఇక్కడ కాదా, ఇక్కడ ఇక్కడ అవునమ్మా, బ్రేక్ చెప్పేసా. 5 is equal to 10 బ్రేక్. దీనిలో రాయాలా? ఓకే, అవుట్పుట్ అక్కడ ఉంది కదా. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ కూడా పెట్టేద్దాం. If I is equal to 10, then break. Only 10. Only 10 values you get. Break will work. Continue means if I is equal to 10, continue means only 10 will miss. Remaining values will get. Only 10 value will miss. That is continue. This is only break. If I is equal to 5, then 5 is equal to 5. Only 5 values will get. 5 है ना? 0, 0 to 5. 0 to 5 index. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the one thing.